What's up, party people? Welcome to the Christmas edition of Stoniecast number 85 and season 3, episode 18 of Thoughts and Hunches, making money in bunches and sucker punches. It's your boy Stony Claus back for the 85th time, and I'd like to welcome my fellow hoodlums, cheats, lowlifes, hustlers, scumbags, altar boys with unhealthy relationships with their priests, foul-mouthed and abusive language-having, raging alcoholics, fienders, and degenerates. Hey, if you're new to the show, hey, you probably fit into one of those categories, so welcome. And make sure to hit the subscribe button down here in the lower right-hand corner so you can get notified every single time I put out a new video. That's usually on Friday evening, unless otherwise noted. Next week, we will release a video again on Thursday because of bowl games going on Friday, including a bowl game that I'll be going to here, the Music City Bowl. So make sure to stay tuned. Before we get going, I just want to... You'll notice I'm not at home this week. I'm in a hotel because Snowmageddon has hit Nashville. Now, I don't know if you can see that. Actually, let me get away from that light. That's what it looks like outside right now. The snow, snowing sideways. It's about 10 degrees outside. All hell's broken loose. I'm in a fucking hotel, right? Because I'm flying home to the Bay Area tomorrow. My flight was already canceled, so I had to book another one. And I didn't think that I could make it to the airport because everything's going to be shut down tomorrow, road-wise. So I got an Uber, and I'm already packed, and I'm heading to the Bay tomorrow to be with my family. For the first time 5.5 years I've been living here in Nashville, I'm coming home for the holidays. So your boy Stony is coming home. That's right. But, let the pigeons loose and get the streamers and bust it all out. All right. Now, before we get to last week's picks, I just want to give a quick tribute to Franco Harris, who passed away at 72 yesterday. An absolute legend in the eyes of the NFL. You can only imagine how big of a deity he was and still is in Pittsburgh. The man who went against the Steel Curtain defense in practice every single day was the engine that got the offense going in the 70s, right next to Bradshaw, Swan, Blyer, Stallworth. Harris was a true gentleman, and he'll be missed greatly. Rest in power, Franco. You are certainly one of a kind. Now, last week was an adventure again, but we still managed another profit. And it's now been 5 straight winning weeks of not huge profits, but profits nonetheless. So, here are the numbers. Both sides last week, right? And that doesn't include the easy winner I've got going on right now. Oh my goodness, Air Force in the under. Yeah, you're welcome for both sides of that one. It was really easy. Both sides, I went 6-6. All right, what are you going to do? Bowl totals, I went 9-3. That's right. So 15-9 on bowl sides, or on total bowls so far. Not too shabby. NFL last week, 7-8, losing week. 117 wins, 97 losses, 3 ties for the season. That's 54-67 on the season. NCAA basketball last week, 15-12. Again, not a great week, but still profitable. 83 wins, 47 losses, and 1 push dropped us to 63.85%. We're still at 63%, even though we haven't hit over 60% in college hoops in about 3 weeks now. And overall, here are our numbers. 359 wins, 250 losses, 9 pushes. That's good for 58.95%. Hey, just under 59. We will take it, and we'll roll with it because the goal here is to get back over 60. So we're going to start to do that. We're going to start to do that right now. We're already off to a start this week, as there was at least one bowl game every day this week, right? So I'm not going to go back and look and figure out which games. I'll do that next week as far as because the weekend's on Monday. So there were bowl games on Tuesday and Wednesday and right now that are going on right now that will be included in the current week, right? Now, as for the new picks, we'll keep with the bowl season tomorrow, and we'll go at 3 Eastern in Shreveport. 7-5 Houston is a healthy 7-point favorite over 6-6 Louisiana in the Independence Bowl. Both schools have won 2 out of 3, and Houston's going to try to turn this one into a track meet. Touchdown Baylor, look at that. Look at that. But Louisiana has the tools to keep up. I like the Raging Cajuns here plus the touchdown, and I'm going to roll with the over here as both schools can get up and down the field. Louisiana and the over. We'll continue this week bowl season tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium at 7-5 Wake Forest is a short 1-point favorite over 6-6 Missouri in the Gasparilla Bowl. Wake has dropped 4 out of 5 and limps into bowl season, while Mizzou had to finish strong to become bowl eligible. I'm going to take the point and take the Tigers. With the total set at 58.5, I'm definitely on the under here. So that's Missouri and the under. Moving on to Christmas Eve on Saturday, the traditional spot for the Hawaii Bowl in Stony Lulu pits 7-5 squads as San Diego State, a 7-point favorite, over Middle Tennessee. The Blue Raiders finished strong by winning 4 out of 5 to finish 4th in Conference USA. And San Diego State was hot until they ran into Air Force's defense, which we're watching right now, in their finale to finish 2nd in the Mountain West. San Diego State has the firepower, and MTSU is just happy to get out of the freezing cold in Murfreesboro, which you just saw. Murfreesboro is right down the road. So they're happy to leave all this and head to nicer weather on the island. I like the Aztecs here, and I'm going to lay them. With the total set at 49, I'm also going to roll with the over. So that's SDSU and the over. No bowl game on Christmas, but we'll start up again on Monday in Detroit at Ford Field. The 6-6 Bowling Green's a 3.5-point favorite over 6-6 New Mexico State. Boy, they're lining up for tickets for this one in the Quick Lane Bowl. The Aggies finished strong, winning 4 of 5 in their independent schedule, while the Falcons dropped 2 out of 3 to finish 2nd in the East Division of the MAC. I like Bowling Green here and the under for some reason, which currently sits at 47.5. Tuesday starts the new week, and the number of matchups really gets amped up now, as the first of 4 on Tuesday goes at noon Eastern and is down the road here in Montgomery, the home of Hank Williams, as Georgia Southern's a 3.5-point favorite over Buffalo in the Camellia Bowl. I like Buffalo's toughness here after finishing 2nd in the East Division of the MAC, so I'll take the Bulls and the points. This one has the makings of the highest scoring bowl game, and with the total at 67.5, I'm going to take the under and buck the conventional wisdom. Buffalo and the under. Game 2 on Tuesdays at 3:15 Eastern in Dallas, as Memphis is a 7.5-point favorite over Utah State in the First Responders Bowl. The Aggies won 3 of their last 4 to become bowl eligible and finished 2nd in the Mountain West Mountain Division, while Memphis dropped 3 of 5 and finished 8th in the American Athletic. Big number to lay between two not-so-great teams, but Memphis is the clear choice here, so I'm going to have to lay them. With a 61.5-point total, the over is the play, so it's Memphis in the over. 6:45 Eastern on Tuesday at Protective Stadium, 7-5 East Carolina. 7.5-point favorite over 9-3 Coastal Carolina in the Birmingham Bowl. Take 2 schools from the Carolinas, send them to Bama, and we'll call it a bowl game. The Pirates finished 6th in the the AAC, the American Athletic, and the Chanticleers won the Sun Belt East Division. Coastal has no coach and no quarterback. I'll lay them points and going to take the under 63. The last game on Tuesday goes at 10:15 Eastern in Phoenix at Chase Field as 6-6 Wisconsin is a 3.5-point favorite over 7-5 Oklahoma State in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. This is where the bowl starts to shift from a matchup of 2 mid-majors against the Power 5 schools now. And I'm going to take the Badgers here because of the way that they closed out the season and the over in a low total game of only 43. That's whiskey and the over. 4 more bowl games on Wednesday start at 1 Eastern at the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium as 8-4 Duke is a 3-point favorite over 9-4 Central Florida in the Military Bowl. 3:34 left, 30-15 Air Force. Yeah, I think I'm pretty safe. Duke closed strong to finish second in the ACC Coastal Division, while UCF didn't play so well, but still finished second in the American Athletic. I like the Knights here, as everyone seems to be knobbing the Dukies lately. I'll also roll with the over and a high total of 62, because both schools will score and allow a lot also. That's UCF and the over. 4:30 Eastern on Wednesday in Memphis at the Liberty Bowl. Arkansas is a 3-point favorite over Kansas in a battle of 6-6 schools who both struggled mightily down the stretch. I like the Jayhawks here to get the outright win, though it will practically be a home game for Arkansas. With the total at 69, I have to take the under here. That's just too damn high. So that's KU and the under in Memphis. At 8 Eastern on Wednesday night in San Diego at Petco Park, 9-3 Oregon's a 14.5-point favorite over North Carolina in the Holiday Bowl. Carolina shit all over themselves and has dropped their last three, though they still somehow won the ACC Coastal Division before getting pasted by Clemson in the ACC title game. Oregon's loss to rival Oregon State in the Civil War cost them a shot at the Rose Bowl. So you have to wonder if they're going to be up for this, right? I think they will, because I'm going to take Oregon, and UNC just looked bad, in the whole month of November. With the total at 73, I'm going to take the under again here. Just giving a quick peek, checking my Uber Eats order. Okay. When you're in a hotel, these are the things that you got to do. The last game on Wednesday night goes at 9 Eastern, and it should be a good one. As 8-4 Ole Miss is a 3.5-point favorite over 7-5 Texas Tech in Houston, in the Texas Bowl. If you're going to take Texas Tech because it's a home game, think again. The distance from Oxford to Houston is just about the same as it is from Lubbock to Houston. I like the Bulldogs and Lane Kiffin to finish off a solid season at 9-4. I'll also take the under here at 69.5 because I'm not buying that high number. Excuse me. Just kind of figuring everything out. 3 more bowl games go next Thursday, and they start at 1 Eastern in the Boogie Down Bronx. As 8-4 Minnesota comes to NYC as 10-point favorite over 7-5 Michigan in the Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Stadium. This is a matchup of two schools that both started 5-0, but Syracuse clearly struggled late, so I'll take the Golden Gophers and lay the big number. A low total of 42 means Minnesota will dominate on defense in the cold of the Boogie Down. Minnesota and the under. 5:30 Eastern in Orlando at the Bounce House. 13th ranked Florida State, yes, we've now reached ranked teams, is a 9-point favorite over 6-6 Oklahoma in the Cheez-It Bowl. FSU turned this season into a great one at 9-3 and finished second in the ACC's Atlantic Division, while OU faded to a lowly 7th in the Big 12. FSU's won 5 straight, hasn't lost since mid-October, and will win again on Thursday. But I'm going to take the Sooners and all those points. Another big number of 65.5 has me wanting to take the under again, but I won't. Give me the Noles and the over. Finally, at 9 Eastern on Thursday, 20th-ranked Texas is a 4-point favorite over 12th-ranked Washington in the Alamo Bowl in San Antonio. Both schools can score, and both schools finish with bad taste in their mouths. And while I think Washington is underrated, I like Texas in a glorified home game here, minus the 4. 67.5 is the total, and both schools can and will score, so I'll make it Texas and the over. So that's 20 more bowl games right there to add to the haul. I mean, along with the totals for all 20, 40 picks. It's just getting out of control. Not to mention the ones I gave you last week for this week that began on Tuesday and are still going right now. So with no time to waste, it's off to week 16 of the NFL. We'll start right away. And I had everything all set, got home from work, got all set up. I was getting ready to post my video and get it in time before the Jaguars-Jets kicked off, and that's when my phone buzzed and said, your flight tomorrow has been canceled. Threw my world in upheaval. So I'm finally getting to it about 2 hours later. And yeah, I know no one's going to believe me, but I mean, it's just Snoopyville, the Jets, 1.5 points over the Jags, right? Two teams, one going this, one going there. How can anyone in their right mind take the Jets? Jersey's dropped 3 in a row, right? And 4 out of 5. Jayville, on the other hand, please, are you kidding me? Trevor Lawrence is a superstar, period, right? Period. I like the Jets, but I love the Jags. I had Jacksonville. I'm going to count it, whether you guys wanted to or not. That was easy tonight, and I just wish I could have gotten it in. But Mama Nature, it's really coming down right now. This is insane. Wow. After tonight, the NFL moves to Saturday on Christmas Eve, and at 1 Eastern in Soldier Field, the Bills are an 8.5-point road favorite over the 3-11 Bears. One team's trying to win the Super Bowl and the other's gaining confidence, losing games but covering numbers. Weather will be awful, but both teams play in awful weather. The Bills burned me last week by allowing that Jets to slide through the back door. They won't make that mistake twice in a row. I like Buffalo here. 1 Eastern, it's a dog pound. The Browns are a 2.5-point favorite over the Saints. The Browns are 6-8, but only a perfect ending and a lot of help will get them to the playoffs. And the Saints are still only a game behind the Bucs for the lead in the NFC South. The Saints are different away from the Big Easy, and the Browns still can't get their offense moving, but are still 2-1 since Deshaun Watson's return. It ain't pretty, but it's working so far, and I'll take the Brownies as the short home favorite here. Okay, so Air Force won this game. That's a final. At 1 Eastern here in Music City, 7-7 Titans are a 3-point favorite over the 1-12-1 Texans. The Titans are a mess. They've lost 4 straight, Ryan Tannehill for the season. So it's rookie Malik Willis's team now. That means the Texans could win one. I mean, but can they actually win one instead of just covering one? Because they've covered plenty. They may not, but I still like the points in what could be a very ugly game with no offense. I'll take the Texans and the points. Also at 1 Eastern at Arrowhead Stadium, the 11-3 Chiefs are a 10-point favorite over the 7-7 Seahawks. The Chefs are in an all-out battle for home field against Buffalo in the AFC and has dropped 4 out of 5, or have won 4 out of 5. While the Sea Chickens have dropped 4 out of 5 and not only blew their chance at the NFC West title, but now are just fighting to get in. They're fighting for wild card now. None of that will be any help in KC, as the Chiefs will roll by 3 touchdowns here in the only blowout of the week. 1 Eastern in Stoneapalus, the 11-3 Vikings are a short 4-point home favorite over the 8-5-1 Giants. Both squads are probably headed for the playoffs, and while Minnesota's history-making comeback last week masked many of their deficiencies, the Giants are coming off a huge win over the Commando Skin football team last week. Minnie needs to make a statement, and the Giants need to keep the momentum going. I'll roll with Jersey and the points. Also at 1 Eastern on Christmas Eve in Foxborough, the 10-4 Bengals are a 3-point road favorite over the 7-7 Pats. New England has now suddenly dropped 3 out of 4 after gift wrapping an early Christmas present in last week's ridiculous finish against the Raiders, something unlike anything anyone's ever seen. Cincy, on the other hand, has ripped off 6 straight and 8 of 9 to not only look like the defending AFC champs, but the NFL's best team against the number. Mac Jones or Joe Burrow? Yeah, it's no contest. Give me the Bungles. Still no Uber Eats. 1 Eastern on Christmas Eve, Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. 7-7 Detroit comes in as a 2.5-point road favorite over the 5-9 Panthers. Carolina blew a chance to get even with the Bucs at the top of the pitiful NFC South last week by losing to Pittsburgh, and now are in a must-win situation against the surging Lions, who have now ripped off 3 straight and 6 of 7 to put themselves in a very good spot for an NFC wildcard berth. As much as I've been a critic of Jared Goff's over the years, in his best season to date, he's leading a Detroit offense right now with command. And while he's not the best on the road, the Lions just keep on winning. So I'm going to roll with Detroit here. The last 1 Eastern start on Saturdays in Baltimore as the 9-5 Ravens are 7-point chalk and host to the 5-9 Falcons. Yep, Atlanta's 5-9, a mess, and using their backup quarterback, rookie Desmond Ridder, but are still just a game behind the Bucs in the NFC South. Baltimore's 9-5, and their fate is basically in the hands of the health of Lamar Jackson. While it doesn't appear as though he's going to go this week, they may not need him at home against the offensively challenged Falcons. Ravens win, but Falcons cover. I'll be at home in the Bay tomorrow for the whole weekend, but no, I will not be at the 4 Eastern start in Santa Clara when the 10-4 49ers are a 7-point home chalk against the 7-6-1 Commando Skin football team. Washington blew a major chance to put themselves in a position for a playoff spot in last week's loss to the G-Men, and now they have to travel cross-country to face one of the hottest teams in the NFL. The Brock Purdy show continues as the Niners continue to roll by using Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, and that should continue Saturday, but not by much. Yes, the Niners' defense is for real, but so is Washington's. It's their D that leads me to take Washington and the points on the road here. Niners win, Commando Skin football team covers. 4:25 Eastern on Christmas Eve in Arlington at Jerry World. The 10-4 Cowboys are 5-point host favorites over the 13-1 Eagles. The Cowboys have flirted with danger lately as they pulled out a last-second win over Houston 2 weeks ago and lost in overtime to Detroit last week in a look-ahead game to this one. The news for Philly is that they only need to win 1 game of their remaining 3 to clinch a first-round bye and home field throughout the whole NFC playoffs. Quarterback Jalen Hurts' shoulder injury is actually a good thing right now. He'll be fine in January. But Saturday, it'll be the Gardner Minshew show. After speaking at former head coach Mike Leach's funeral a couple days ago, he'll do enough to get the Eagles across the finish line here. They may not win, but they'll certainly cover. Give me the Eagles and the number at home. Christmas Eve's final game is at 8:15 Eastern in the Steel City, as the Steelers are 2.5-point home chalk against the Raiders in a battle of 6 and 8 squads, hoping for miracles to be playing in a month from now. Not going to happen. Yeah, the Raiders continue to confound all logic after blowing another 2-touchdown lead last week, came back to tie it in the waning seconds with an impressive drive, then getting a gift-wrapped win courtesy of New England's stupidity. All that ends here in the freezing cold of Pittsburgh. Tomorrow is the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception, and Saturday will be 3 days after the death of Franco Harris. I'm all over the Steelers in the cold here. Christmas Day, the NFL has a 3-pack of games for us, and it starts at 1 Eastern in Miami as the 8-6 Dolphins are 4-point favorites over the 6 and 8 Pack. Some, including Aaron Rodgers, still think the Pack has a shot at the playoffs, however misguided they are. The Pack will stay close in this one and give Miami all they can handle. They may pull off the surprise, but if they don't, I still like Green Bay with the points against the struggling Finns right now. At 4:30 Eastern on Christmas Day in Inglewood, always up to no good, the Broncos are 2.5-point road favorites over the Rams in a battle of 4-10 teams that are already looking to 2023 for answers. 2 bad teams will play a bad football game for the nation to see on Christmas. Nobody cares who wins, and since I have to make a choice, I'll take the Broncos defense and lay the points on the road. The nightcap on Christmas is in the desert, Valley of the Sun, 8:20 Eastern, as the 6 and 8 Bucks come to town as 7.5-point road chalk against the 4-10 Cardinals. With Kyler Murray and Colt McCoy both out for Zona, it's former Penn State quarterback Trace McSorley who gets to face off against Tom Brady. Yeah, that guy. You ever heard of him? I'm not so sure about this Brady guy, but I'll take Brady here, even though the Bucks are a mess and laying a big number. Monday night at 8:15 Eastern in Indy, the 8-6 Chargers come to town as 4.5-point road favorites against the 4-9-1 Colts. Indy continues to confound with the occasional cover, but that means nothing except costing bettors like me last week. But this is an awful football team that is worse now without Jonathan Taylor, who's done for the year, and they're actually starting Nick Foles. Remember him? The Chargers are healthy and getting hot at the right time, so I can in no way bet against the red-hot Justin Herbert right now. As for next week's NFL Thursday night matchup between Dallas and Tennessee right here in Music City, be sure to check out the comments section on this video for my pick. I'll post it on either Wednesday or Thursday. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to do the same for my college hoops picks for this week because I just don't have time to get all the picks. They don't post the numbers in time for me to do this and give you accurate numbers for all the games on Saturday. All right. So I'll have those in the comments section for tomorrow's game, in which there will be a few and then a lot more on Saturday. So check them out. And if you're looking at a game that I didn't post, just ask me. I'll reply and post a winner for you. So that's all 16 NFL plays for the week and 20 more bowl games with totals. So that's 56 plays right there before college hoops. We're looking at over 80 picks this week. Yeah, as an early Christmas present from your boy Stony Claus. Remember that all these selections are 100% free. So take advantage now. And while lately I've been hitting in the mid 50 percentile, that ain't going to last. Back to the 60s we go. So now's the time to go big. Hit them early and hit them hard. So just remember that Stony Claus says if you want to win big, you got to bet big. If you can't go broke taking a profit like I've done 5 straight weeks. Scared money don't make money. For me, the action is the juice. There's money on the streets that can't be ignored. And finally, good luck to you. Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a great one.